On this edition of City Focus, meet the new Interim City Manager, Mark Barber. Public Works has a plan to keep the city clean. We tell citizens how to sign up for the Valdosta Government 101 class. The Valdosta Police Department celebrates Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. We tell you how to buy your tickets to the 2018 Bert Summer. And we have Utilities Director Darrell Muse in studio to discuss taking care of our pipes during the cold. These stories and more on this edition of City Focus. Happy New Year and welcome to City Focus. I'm Marcus McConico, the Media Coordinator for the City of Valdosta. This is the first episode of City Focus in 2018. City Focus is your source for what's happening within your government. These are the most important topics that are happening in the city. At the first City Council meeting of the year, 2 new City Council members were sworn in, along with returning member Sandra Tooley. Tooley was also voted Mayor Pro Tem. The new members are District 4's Eric Howard and Andy Gibbs for District 6. Both new councilmen are excited to serve the citizens of Valdosta.
You know, I just look forward to serving the city. I look forward to working with the city council members and look forward to working with the mayor and the city. Just look forward to seeing what we can do. And I've enjoyed seeing the positive things that have happened so far, and I can't wait to see what else happens.
My main goal is to try to help keep these kids, save these kids, whatever we can do to keep these kids. But on a bigger note, we want to try to save, try to bring good paying jobs to Valdosta, where we can try to get people here, people from VSU to stay here after they graduate to try to make Valdosta their home.
For more information on the new members and the rest of City Council, visit valdostacity.com/city-council. Members of the Valdosta Youth Council met to go through a leadership training course in order to become better leaders. The new members were going through this type of course for the first time and really enjoyed what they learned.
So we did like an activity where one person you had your dream, and then there was one person that sat in front of you and told you that you could do it, and then there were 2 other ones that were trying to discourage you, and you had to see if it was harder to know your strengths or your weaknesses. That I have to be more confident in myself and know that I can do it.
For more information, like the VYC Facebook page. The City of Valdosta is going through a transition as Mark Barber takes over as interim city manager for 6 months after the retirement of Larry Hansen.
It is an interim position, and I certainly do respect that, but as I told council members, I've got to hit the ground running full force and operate as if I'm in that permanent position, so I can show them that I can handle the responsibilities of being the city manager, which I do understand is a huge responsibility.
Barber expects to show what he can do at the Mayor and Council retreat in March.
The retreat's a great time for Mayor and Council to get together. It's going to be March 16th and 17th this year, and we do our long-term planning and some short-term planning as well. And you're right, it's going to give me an opportunity to be able to show some of my leadership style. When Mr. Hansen left, he told me, don't be me, be your own person, Mark. And so this will be that first opportunity, I think, to do that in front of the full Mayor and Council, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Barber is thrilled with the opportunity and has goals he wants to accomplish.
I feel extremely humbled by the opportunity. The support of Mayor and Council thus far has been fantastic. I couldn't ask for anything better. The community support, my family's support has meant a lot. So I'm very humbled by this opportunity, but definitely want to make the most of it and prove that I can do the job. Some of the things that are my passion are substandard housing. We've done a great job in Valdosta with that, but there is so much more to do with that. We're going to continue to beautify our city. There's so many times, overgrown lots, substandard buildings lead to crime, drug activities, and we want to rid our city of that.
For more information, visit valdostacity.com/city-manager. On January 9th, the Valdosta Police Department celebrated Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Officers walked into the PD to see drawings from school children, listen to the mayor read a proclamation, and hear praise from Chief Childress and the city manager.
I'm very proud to be part of the Valdosta Police Department, okay? Again, we have the backing from our leadership. That's the first thing. And it's just refreshing, again, on this Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, just to be, just for people to recognize that, it's tough out there. It's tough out there. And just to say thank you, it's really appreciated.
For more information, contact the Valdosta Police Department. Recently, the Valdosta Police Department had 2 new officers sworn in. Both officers, Dalton Bennett and Chancey Stevens, are excited to join the force.
Everything is definitely worth it now that all the hard stuff is over. I'm definitely glad that I stuck it out, and now I'm here. Considering the fact that I lost my mother in November, I'm definitely proud that I was able to stick out the process, and now I was able to take the oath and do all this without her being presently here, or physically here.
For more information, contact the Valdosta Police Department. The Public Information Office is taking applications for the 9th annual Valdosta Government 101 class. The class of 25 will meet for 7 weeks on Mondays from 5:30 to 8:30, with the first class being held on April 2nd. Government 101 is designed to give citizens of Valdosta and other locals a deeper understanding and appreciation of their local government by teaching them the responsibilities of all city departments and other community leaders. Applicants will undergo a background check, a part of the application process, and must also complete a separate criminal history form that may be obtained upon submission of the completed application. All forms may be obtained from the Public Information Office located on the first floor of the City Hall Annex at 300 North Lee Street, or visit valdostacity.com. Deadline for entries is March 16th. For more information, call the Public Information Office at 229-259-3548. Tickets are on sale for the 2018 Bert Summer. The event is Wednesday, January 31st, 2018 at the historic Georgia Railroad Depot in Atlanta beginning at 5 p.m. This event brings state officials, local businesses, professional and government personnel for a dinner of quail and important conversation. Tickets may be purchased for $50 each at the Lowndes County Judicial Administrative Complex or the city clerk at Valdosta City Hall. For more information, contact Paige Dutes at 229-671-2400 or Samantha Matthews at 229-259-3548.
Come out to the South Georgia Film Festival March 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on the campus of Valdosta State University, featuring regional premieres and high school filmmakers, panels from industry professionals, and much, much more. For more information, visit southgeorgiafilm.com.
Welcome back to City Focus. The Utilities Department has many responsibilities in serving the residents of Valdosta. We have Utilities Director Darrell Muse in studio to tell us about those responsibilities and the importance of taking care of our pipes during cold weather. Welcome to the show, Darrell.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, you've been with the city for about 5 months. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to Valdosta.
Well, it's been a long trip. Originally, I'm from Michigan, and of course, we had cold weather 6 months out of the year, so we had to start preparing early. Most recently, I was in Ocala, Florida, and pretty much the opposite of Michigan. We had no cold weather at all, so we didn't have to work as diligently to take care of our pipes during the cold weather season. I got into the public sector out of the aerospace industry originally. I'd worked for Ford Aerospace, and at some point during that, I decided that I wanted to get more involved into the public sector, so I transitioned from the aerospace industry into public utilities.
Okay, cool. And for those who are not quite familiar with your department and the responsibilities, what do you guys do for the city?
Well, I like to put it simply. Our job as a utility is to take care of the water resources for the state of Georgia and for the city of Valdosta. It takes 7 divisions and a lot of folks to do that, but primarily we provide safe, clean drinking water. We take the wastewater from the homes, we treat that to a drinking water quality, and we reintroduce that back into the environment.
Okay. Now, it doesn't get cold here very often, but we just had a cold spell. We may have another in the future, in the next couple of weeks. Can you give our viewers some tips on how to protect their pipes during these cold spells?
Yeah, absolutely. Any exposed piping in the winter is subject to freeze. So there's a few things you can do in your home to make sure that doesn't happen. Primarily, I would ask that you do these things during the summer months instead of the winter months so that you're prepared when the cold weather comes. But wrapping your pipes is probably the single most important thing that you can do to protect your pipes at your home. Also, if you have garden hoses, you want to ensure they're drained prior to the freeze, and also ensure that any animals that you may have some drinking water or some other facilities that are necessary to keep them watered and fed. Gotcha. You want to make sure you secure those as well.
Okay, awesome. And for those of us who are fortunate enough to have a pool, what do we need to do to make sure that equipment doesn't get damaged?
Thanks for asking that question. That's something that's often left out. Pools are very susceptible to freezing. Even though you have a large body of water there, the pool itself is probably not going to freeze, but you're going to get damage to your pool equipment, your pumps, your filters, or any of your chlorination equipment. You need to make sure that that water keeps circulating. So I suggest about an hour prior to the expected extreme cold weather, turn your pumping system on, allow the water to circulate through the system. Moving water seldom freezes. Gotcha. And also the interjection of chlorine helps keep the water from freezing as well. If you have a salt system, make sure that you keep your salt generation system on. As you know, salt helps water to keep from freezing as well.
Gotcha. Okay. And our local businesses are very important to us. Is there anything that our commercial businesses can do to protect themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of commercial buildings have fire protection systems inside. Take the time during the summer months to inspect that piping, and if you have any leaks, get them fixed immediately. If you don't have any leaks, start wrapping those pipes, getting them prepared for the winter months. Also, in the city of Valdosta, we require the commercial industries to have backflow preventers. So some folks have seen those things outside. They're the pipe coming out of the ground, a brass device, a pipe going back in the ground. That's the responsibility of the property owner. So we want to make sure that you take the opportunity to wrap those exposed pipings to make sure that they don't freeze. Now there are several options. We have heat generating tape that you can buy at Lowe's, Home Depot, or some of the other hardware stores. And it looks like black tape. You take it, wrap around the pipe, and then it has a plug on the end, and you just plug that into an electrical socket. Now it's only going to keep the pipe at about 35 degrees, but that's the goal, only to keep it above freezing. The next thing that they have available is they have insulated wrappings for those backflow devices. And you'll see around town some fiberglass boxes that people have purchased to sit over those to keep from it being exposed to the wind. Primarily, that's the most important things that the commercial industry needs to do that's different than what the residential folks need to do.
Gotcha. Okay. And these tips are important to everyone in the city because of broken pipes can be expensive and not only inconvenient, but also expensive. We thank you for coming in and giving us this important information. And we thank you for joining us, and we appreciate having you here in Valdosta. And we'll be back here on City Focus.
Thank you.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas.
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Come out to the South Georgia Film Festival March 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on the campus of Valdosta State University. Featuring regional premieres and high school filmmakers, panels from industry professionals, and much, much more. For more information, visit southgeorgiafilm.com.
The Valdosta Fire Department has a few space heater safety tips for citizens during the cold winter days.
What you want to do when you have space heaters, electric space heaters, fuel-fed heaters, or fireplaces is you want to practice safety. Fuel-fed heaters, you want to make sure they're not overfilled. Space heaters, you want to make sure that you do not plug them into an electrical strip or extension cord. You want to plug them directly into a wall outlet to make sure there's no shortage. And also what you want to do is with fireplaces, you want to make sure you have a screen so any debris cannot fall out on carpet or flooring, which may cause a fire.
VFD also wants to remind you to unplug the units when they are not being watched.
Do not keep them plugged in. Make sure you have them unplugged. Do not go to sleep with them plugged in because you're not in a conscious state and a fire could occur while you are asleep. Another thing you want to make sure you have a 3-foot clearance around it. Make sure nothing is touching it like paper, cloth, furniture, furnishings, anything, because what it does is those units usually put off about 200 degrees and constant at 200 degrees and within a 3-foot space can cause the combustibles to burn.
Also remember to always have a working smoke detector.
Make sure that you have a functioning, working smoke detector in your home because that is the key to making sure that you get out safe and getting out alive.
For more information, contact the Valdosta Fire Department. The Public Works Department is taking advantage of a grant to combat litter in the city of Valdosta.
This is our first initial site. Before we put out any cans, we had another project and I brought over a trash can and put it in this same location. Well, during that time I came back to retrieve the trash can, pick everything up, and I noticed someone had went all along the road and filled up the trash can with litter. So I got to thinking, wow, they used the trash can and somebody picked up all the litter. So I left it for about 6 months, just kind of periodically, because my guys come by here all the time, the truck, so I'd have them dump it. So I already know that if a can is here, they will use it.
The department will strategically place 20 garbage bins in high traffic areas to help with litter in the areas.
We have these cans in our parks. We have them in our downtown areas. And then in some of our high traffic areas, there's no cans. So it's very important that, that we take that extra added measure to try to keep, the right-of-ways clean.
This is an important measure in keeping the city clean.
The areas that we're having all the problems, there's no cans. So this is one solution. Just everyone uses these cans, that's a lot easier than sending a crew picking it up side the road all the time.
For more information, contact Public Works. Last year, the state of Georgia passed House Bill 146 that provides firefighters a lump sum of cash if diagnosed with cancer. And locally, the Valdosta Fire Department has taken internal measures to protect those in the fire service.
Every time a firefighter goes out to a fire, they have to come back to the station, they have to wash all their gear. We also have a hood exchange program, which is the firefighter hood. When they come in, actually before they leave the fire scene, each firefighter has to participate in the hood exchange program where they give us a clean hood. They give us their dirty hood and we give them a clean hood back. So we wash hoods, we put them in a bag, and then after every fire, we make sure that every firefighter has a clean hood.
Employees and their families appreciate the extra effort.
My family's happy about it. Every time I come home, I get to see my son, man. He knows for a fact now that his dad is well taken care of.
And Chief Broom believes in protecting everyone at the Valdosta Fire Department.
It gives them that self-assurance. You know, I always say our number one responsibility is our personnel, and every day my job is to make sure every firefighter goes home safely. And that doesn't just mean physically, that means physically and mentally. And at the same time, we want to make sure that we're proactively putting things in place so 10 years down the line, the families and the firefighters know that we are doing things to make sure that they're still safe.
For more information, contact the Valdosta Fire Department. Valdosta Lowndes County residents have until January 31st to apply for one of the 6 city appointments to serve on a board, commission, authority, or advisory committee. Valdosta Historic Preservation Commission, 3 appointments. Valdosta Housing Board of Adjustments and Appeals, 2 appointments. Valdosta Tree Commission, 1 appointment to fill an expiring term. City Council will vote on the new appointments at their February 8th City Council meeting. For more information, contact Valdosta City Clerk Teresa Bolden at 229-259-3503. Only stormwater is allowed to enter the storm drain. The discharge of any polluted water, sewage, oil, paint, etc. is strictly prohibited. Help protect our community and waterways by reporting stormwater pollution when you see it. When should you make a report? When you see someone illegally dumping anything into the storm drain, ditch, or waterway. When you find disposed waste in or near any storm drain, ditch, or waterway. When you notice unusual odors in or near the storm drain. When you see sediment coming off a construction site. When the drainage system has unusually large flows during a dry period. When you are aware of suspected stormwater pollution that may impact public health or the environment. Contact the Stormwater Division in order to report at 229-259-3530. It's not often that we see snow in South Georgia, and people are enjoying an experience we rarely get.
I've been here for 23 years. I've never seen snowfall. I've seen it on the ground for like a minute time, but this is the first time ever watching it fall. Like I said, I've been here for 23 years and never seen snowfall, so it took me by surprise for sure.
But citizens should also remember that there is a team of people from all over Valdosta and Lowndes County working to keep residents safe. Local governments and the Georgia Department of Transportation began working early in the morning to salt roads to keep them from icing over.
A situation like today where Valdosta normally does not get any snow, it is very important. If you do not need to be on the roadway, please do not come out. We don't need any unnecessary vehicles out on the roadway. With the snow and ice that we had today and the freezing rain, it made driving really difficult.
During any type of severe weather, officials ask those that are driving to be extra cautious.
In any situation where the city of Valdosta has any type of bad weather, whether it's tropical storm, hurricanes, whatever, we advise the citizens, if you do not need to be on the roadway, please do not get out there, because between emergency services and other agencies, we're trying to do our job to make the roads as safe as possible and make it as passable as possible. So please do not get on the roadways if it's not necessary.
Like Lowndes EMA on Facebook for information of events of severe weather in our area. And sign up for Code Red alerts at loundescounty.com. Now let's take a look at what's taking place in the city in the coming weeks. January 15th, City of Valdosta celebrates Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. All offices will be closed. Trash pickup will be garbage only. January 16th, Central Valdosta Development Authority Board Meeting, 5 p.m. at the City Hall Annex Multipurpose Room. Valdosta Lowndes County Development Authority Meeting, 5:30 at 103 Roosevelt Drive. January 17th, Hospital Authority of Valdosta and Lowndes County Meeting, 8 a.m. in the Executive Board Room at SGMC. Valdosta Lowndes County Parks and Recreation Authority Meeting, 4:30 at 1901 North Forest Street. Deep South Solid Waste Authority Meeting, 6 p.m. at 327 West Savannah Avenue. January 18th, Public Art Advisory Committee Meeting, 11:30 at Turner Center for the Arts. January 22nd, Valdosta Housing Authority Meeting, 12 p.m. at the the Valdosta Housing Authority office at 610 East Ann Street. January 23rd, Lowndes County Board of Health meeting, 7:30 a.m. at 206 South Patterson Street. Valdosta Lowndes County Conference Center and Tourism Authority meeting, 8 a.m. in the Executive Conference Room at the Conference Center. January 25th, Valdosta Youth Council meeting, 4 p.m. in Council Chambers. Valdosta City Council meeting, 5:30 in Council Chambers. January 29th, Community Development Block Grant Advisory Committee, 5:30 in the City Hall Annex Multipurpose Room. To stay informed of what's happening in the city, sign up for the weekly e-news blast at valdostacity.com/public-information or call Public Information Officer Samantha Matthews at 229-259-3548. Earlier in the show, we told you about Valdosta Government 101 program that teaches citizens about the departments and services that the city provides to residents. That's just one of the programs that the city provides to educate citizens. The Citizens Police Academy is held twice a year, and the Citizens Fire Academy is held in the fall. Get involved with your local government to find out how you can make Valdosta a better place to live. This concludes another edition of City Focus. Be sure to visit our website, valdostacity.com. Like us on Facebook, Valdosta City Without Limits. Also like our Valdosta Youth Council page. Follow us on Twitter at City of Valdosta, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Metro 17 Valdosta, to watch City Focus on demand. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on City Focus.